Welcome back to another lightsaber build. This time I was commissioned to install the Korbanth Darksaber with a Proffie and Bluetooth capabilities. Before we begin, I want to say that if you guys enjoy these videos, please like and subscribe. I do have some awesome projects in the works and I would love for you guys to see them. Oh, and also, if you want to commission a lightsaber build from me, feel free to contact me on Instagram, the link is down in the description of this video. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Let's unbox the Korbanth Darksaber. Let's take a look at what's inside. Of course we have the hilt, but then it also comes with custom connectors for the blade. I'll set those off to the side for when I do the install. But as for the hilt itself, I'm actually very surprised at how heavy it is. I've had a lot of lightsabers pass through here, but this is by far one of the heaviest. Besides that, the only other thing worth mentioning is that the grips are way too bright, but those can always be darkened. It's now time to begin the install. The first thing I'm going to do is take apart the hilt and see if the chassis fits. Looks like something is stopping it from going in all the way. I'll have to fix that. And the pommel doesn't go on either. I guess I'll have to file some things down. Before I attempted this, I did some research and found out that these hilts often come out of the factory with some unintended material inside the handle near the top of the hilt. That material is what's stopping the chassis from sliding in all the way, so you have to take a file or something similar to get rid of that extra material. I don't know if it's the same for the pommel, but the chassis doesn't fit there either, so I had to file and sand it a bunch too. All of this was a surprisingly large amount of work, but I managed to get it so everything fit how it's supposed to. I'll probably do a bit more work on it later, but for now, this is good enough to move on. Now, since we're making a Darksaber, a normal NeoPixel connector isn't going to work, so we'll be using this custom one instead. While this looks a lot different than normal, it's pretty much exactly the same to set up. The only weird thing comes from me not having the blade and not knowing which of the two data pins it uses. So, to solve this, I just combined the two data pads, and now it'll work no matter what, and I don't have to worry about it. With that done, the next thing I want to set up is the kill switch. This part's really easy, just pre-solder the legs and attach the wires. For this setup, I have the battery positive on the side, and the middle leg is going to go to the soundboard and the NeoPixel connector. Once the heat shrink is on, we can put it all in the chassis and glue it in. The next thing to do is add the positive battery tab. It gets attached to the wire we set up earlier, and then glued to the chassis. After that comes the negative battery tab. It gets one wire that'll go straight to the soundboard. And once it's in the chassis, we don't have to worry about it. Now to continue with the negatives, I went ahead and split the NeoPixel one into two, so it's easier to attach to the soundboard later. And then I finished up the connector by attaching the positive to it. Now the connector is all set up and ready to be glued in place. But I won't do that just yet. First, let's set up the pixel button. Now to put it in the chassis. Next is the speaker. In order for the speaker to fit into the hilt, the chassis is designed for it to sit at an angle. I don't know what this means for the volume of the saber, but at least it means it fits a 28mm bass speaker. It's now time to install the soundboard. And there we go. Just gotta slide it into place. And now it's all ready to go. Now for some finishing touches. To finish off this lightsaber build, I just want to glue in this triangle piece, and then glue this thing onto the screw that holds the pommel in place, so I can unscrew it by hand. I can't believe I forgot! I have to install the Bluetooth module. Luckily I can still do it without too much difficulty. And there we go. Just gonna slide it in here. It's really the only place it'll fit in the chassis. Now I'm gonna go off camera to glue this in and solder the wires to the soundboard. Alright, let's see if this works. Looking good so far. Okay, so it seems to be working perfectly, but we have one thing left to try. Let's put it in the Darksaber. Check out the light up button. I set it up to pulse when the blade is off. And there we have it. The Darksaber is fully functional. Unfortunately, I don't have the blade, but this is still pretty cool. Now I want to show you guys the screw I set up. As you can see, after I glued the nut to the screw, I can now put it in and take it out by hand. That means you don't need any extra tools to access the chassis. Now to demonstrate the Bluetooth and some of the colors. And that'll be the end of the demonstration. But the last thing I want to show you is the lit button. I set it up so it mimics the blade when the saber is ignited. And when the blade retracts, the button goes through a cooldown effect. Pretty cool, right? And that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this just as much as I enjoyed making this lightsaber. But even if you didn't, I hope you found something that'll help you with your own lightsaber builds. Lastly, I'll say it once again, if you like these videos, please like and subscribe. And also if you want to commission a lightsaber build, feel free to contact me on Instagram, the link is in the description. But anyways, that's all from me. Thank you again for watching, and see you guys next time.